What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So I've got the OnePlus 12 and the Samsung Galaxy S24, and we're going to compare them in this video. And you may be asking, why are you comparing the S24 to the OnePlus 12 when you should be comparing it to the S24 Ultra? And also let me know in the comments down below if you want to see a comparison between the OnePlus 12 and S24 Ultra. Here's the thing. They're both priced at a starting price of $799. So for $799, we're going to compare what each company offers. I mean, Samsung Galaxy S24 is $1299 starting price. So it's a whole different price category. That's why I'm comparing it in this video with these two devices. Let's start things off with design, and they both have their own unique design. When you see a slab of glass that's flatter edges on the side with this signature Samsung back, you know it's a Samsung device with individual 3 camera cutouts. You know it's a Samsung Galaxy S series device too, and also with those slim bezels on the front. There you go, and a smaller 6.1 inch display. That is a Samsung. OnePlus isn't really like that. They still have a slight curve to their displays, and they're not really flattened on the sides at all either. They have this different camera cutout right here that kind of blends into the aluminum sides, which is actually really nice. And I really do like this emerald color, this marble emerald color. It really does scream premium. Nonetheless, they both have their own unique design, but when you see them out in the blue or out in the public, you know that, okay, this is a Samsung, this is a OnePlus device, and they are both using premium and really good quality. Now, OnePlus 12 is definitely larger with a 6.82 inch Quad HD LTPO 120Hz display, and the Samsung Galaxy S24 is using a 6.1 inch AMOLED display, again 120 Hz. So they both have the same refresh rate. Here, it really does come down to preference with the design, whether you want a larger display or a smaller one, or just a one-handed phone. Samsung Galaxy S24 is the one, or just a larger experience with better for watching YouTube videos or playing Call of Duty, or for just content in general, then a larger screen is definitely going to be that device. In this case, OnePlus 12. I also like how they put the front-facing camera in the center. Past OnePlus devices usually had it on the side. Good thing they did that. Samsung already has that right here, front-facing camera right here in the center. So design, they're both built well. Again, it comes down to preference. Which one would you choose? I recommend holding them both in the hand and trying them out before you choose. But for me, I like the design of the Galaxy S24, mainly because of its just size. Then you'd probably say, why don't you compare the S24 Plus to the OnePlus 12? Again, it's the price. What are you getting for $799? I like this more compact build of the Galaxy S24. However, things do change when it comes to performance. So they're both rocking Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and Android 14 on board. But here's the thing. The OnePlus 12 can go up to 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. And the Galaxy S24 just comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 or 256 gigs of storage. Again, you're not going to be getting the 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage as the base model. And I'll be putting prices later on screen when we talk about the pricing. But you still have that configuration of getting up to 16 gigs of RAM with the OnePlus 12, which is a huge plus. In addition, you're getting 4 years of software updates with the OnePlus 12, but then 7 years of software updates with the Galaxy S24. Now, putting all those like specs and numbers aside, how do they perform on the day? Well, I can tell you this. They're both snappy. They're both smooth. They've had no issues. I've thrown everything I've used. I've used the Test Lab. I've used YouTube. I've used Gmail, YouTube Studio. I've played Call of Duty. I've played Clash of Clans on these devices, and they both run very smooth. No issues whatsoever. I think we're at a point in time where just performance in flagship devices using the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen chip, they're going to perform like a champ. So whichever one you decide to choose, you can't go wrong. In this case, again, I'd still go for the Galaxy S24. And again, this is just my preference. because I like One UI better than this Oxygen OS. It really does resemble Color OS, and I do miss the old Oxygen OS. For me, OnePlus 7 Pro was my personal favorite peak smartphone that I've used, and I kind of wish OnePlus kept with that type of Oxygen OS. But Samsung has really refined their One UI, and Android 14 is no different. And you're getting 7 years of software updates. Granted, how well will it last with a 7-year-old device? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But for me, preference-wise, I like just the general software on this as well as the performance. Yes, a nice plus would be having more RAM on the S24, but that's okay. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean I'm pushing away the OnePlus 12. This is still a beast. If you're looking for the latest and greatest specs and like the numbers, OnePlus 12 is going to be that device. Now let's move on to the cameras. We're both getting a triple camera setup with these two devices. OnePlus 12 has a 50 megapixel wide camera, 64 megapixel periscope telephoto with 3x optical zoom, and 48 megapixel ultra wide camera. And the results, they're good. They are OnePlus quality. OnePlus, I guess, for that price for $799, they're going to have to cut back on some things, and camera just happens to be one of them, even though they have their Hasselblad branding and they're still working with them. It's more so just kind of, I guess, their software-wise that they're working with them. I haven't really seen the benefits, at least in my case, with working with Hasselblad, but it looks like they're going to be continuing on working with them in the future too. Galaxy S24, we're getting a 50 megapixel wide, a 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And the results on this are also really good. They're both really good. I'll put it that way too. And again, it does come down to preference. For me, I would go with either one. Why? Because for me, camera is not the biggest priority in a smartphone, so I can go with either or. But obviously, I'd recommend checking these out in person and checking out other videos as well, and maybe you might see some camera comparisons that go more in depth, as I'm just showing just some quick couple photos that I took side by side with these two devices. Maybe you get a better understanding if you use them in person or if you try them out in person. Definitely recommend it. Things do change with the battery department because OnePlus 12 just blows the Galaxy S24 out of the park. A 5,400 milliamp hour battery, 80 watts of Super VOOC charging here in the US, 50 watts of wireless charging, and it charges to 100% in less than half an hour. So yeah, you're getting a larger phone, granted a larger battery, but you're getting much faster charging speeds and wireless charging speeds, and you get 0 to 100 in less than 30 minutes. Like, you don't need to charge this phone at night. This phone has awesome battery life. If you're a heavy user, it's going to last you all day. If you're a light user, it's going to last you well into the second day. Galaxy S24, can't really say the same. It's got a smaller 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It's to be expected because of that smaller size, but it only has 25 watts of fast charging. And I don't use wireless charging on this because it's just that slow. It does have reverse wireless charging, but again, I don't really use it. But the 25 watts of fast charging ain't going to cut it. You're a heavy user like me, you're going to have to charge this by the end of the night. And if you're a light user, I'd still recommend charging it at the end of the day. I don't know, but OnePlus has always done a great job in the battery department, whether it's charging speeds or just battery life. They've done a superb job, and it's no different with the OnePlus 12. And it ultimately is going to lead me into the pricing of both of these. $799 starting price. I'll put up the actual pricing configurations on screen right now. So $799 for the base model, OnePlus 12, $899 for a top model with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. You're paying for a premium phone, but at a pretty good price. You're getting a good camera setup, you're getting great battery life, speedy performance, and a unique design. I think OnePlus has really found their design. Galaxy S24 also starting at $799. It does go up from there. And you're also getting really good cameras, great software, great performance in general, a really clean and minimal build, and fairly decent battery life. much worse though than the OnePlus 12. I'll be honest with you, much worse than the OnePlus 12, but still fairly 4,000 milliamp hour battery and decent battery life. Granted, I mean, given the size of the form factor of the Galaxy S24. So, final thoughts when we compare the same price point of these two devices and for what each company offers, it all comes down to this. Again, the preference is a huge thing revolving in this video, but I think OnePlus 12 is just a much better buy. It's got stellar performance, it's got amazing display, it's great battery life, even better charging speeds, it's got a great camera setup. It's even got the one thing that I really like that I didn't mention during its design stage is the ring mode, vibrate mode, and silent mode. The mute switch right here. Well, iPhone calls it the mute switch. Well, they used to call it mute switch, and now they don't have that. They have the action button, but the alert slider right here. The alert slider comes in really handy. I really like it, and I hope more companies do bring something like that, an alert slider. It's just got a lot of great things with the OnePlus 12 for $799. In fact, it's got a lot of things you'd expect from a flagship, from an ultra device in the OnePlus 12. Samsung Galaxy S24 just doesn't have that great battery life, doesn't have the even better charging speeds. I mean, you're missing out on a lot. So for me, OnePlus 12 is probably going to be the device that I would personally choose between the two and personally recommend over between the two. But again, it does come down to preference. So there you have it. There's my comparison and just some talk about OnePlus 12 and Samsung Galaxy S24. If you did enjoy this video, definitely be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot. It will help push my content out to more people, and definitely be sure to check out my latest I can't even speak. My latest wallpaper pack is called Alpinism in the description down below. Really does help out the channel, as well as my merch I have right here. A desk mat, I have coffee mugs, I have a water bottle, a 32 ounce water bottle right here. I take this to work every day. I absolutely love it. I don't know, I fill it up to the very top, and then by the time I come home at night, it's already done. So it's also an incentive to kind of get me to drink water from my own brand right here. But again, these things do help out the channel a lot. That's been it for me. It's been a long day. It's nighttime. I'm having trouble speaking now. I'm tired. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you want to see OnePlus 12 versus Galaxy S24 Ultra, I'll most likely be working on it, but I want to just hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll catch you guys next episode.